the show, Eden. How are you doing today?
Hey there, y'all. I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys today?
Good, man. Eden, is this your first time doing interviews?
Yeah, first one ever.
Cool, man. How are you feeling? A little nervous?
Very, very.
No worries. It's the same thing there, man. This is my first on video interview. I did an in-person one yesterday with one of the girls who's fighting on the SKC card. So pretty
All right,
excited for that. Let's jump straight into it, man. Look,
for sure.
so how's camp going? I know it's still a little early for the SKC camp, fight camp, but I know you have a fight coming up in April. Am I correct on that?
Yes, you are. I try to always just stay ready. I like to try and stay in shape as much as possible. So camp is always going. Camp is always good.
Yeah, dude. Wait, how many fights you have now?
7.
7 fights. What's your
Yeah,
record now?
5-2.
Okay, that's what I
5-2.
have on my research, but I wanted to make sure that's correct. To give a quick, I'm gonna give you the pleasure. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Give me where you're fighting out of, and your recent accomplishment on that SMT2 card.
I am Maney. I'm fighting out Temple Muay Thai out here in Asheville, North Carolina. I just got a championship belt, which is super sick. With SMT, it was an amazing card. I had a lot of fun fighting on it. Great competitors. Had a fun time. Had a great time. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the audience who don't know, who didn't recognize from the previous picture slides, Eden and I we've actually fought twice. We fought on the SKC 4 card. He won via unanimous decision, a tough fight, and then for the SMT, the Southeast Muay Thai card, where he won the championship, we were the first round. And for the audience who don't know, the Southeast kickboxing and the Muay Thai promotion, they do a tournament style bracket called the King of the Ring, where they have 4 fighters, so it's 2 fight, 1 night tournament. But the fighters don't know who they're fighting until like literally minutes before they're about to go against each other. Typically, they have us going about 2 and 3, and we don't even know who we're fighting each other until before bout number 1. So we draw a number, and then we're matched up randomly. And Eden and I just happened to get that matchup. I had it. I felt like we were gonna fight each other, man. I just had it. I just felt that in my bones that we're gonna fight each other. And I'm
Me
glad
too,
we did,
man.
man. I'm really happy that you were able to win that belt. I mean, you're a dog of a fighter. So,
Honestly,
look,
man, I'm
man.
really
So
happy I got to fight you again. I knew that would be like the toughest fight for me, just going in there like because we've already fought, we've already had that experience with each other, and then yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun fighting there with you, man.
look, so I fought you twice now, so I have an idea of how you fight. But for the audience who's going to be watching you for the first time, describe your fight style. Obviously, let's start like this because this is kickboxing, and that's going to
Yeah.
involve some karate, some Muay Thai. Give me your discipline that you train in, and then also describe your fight style to me to an audience who's never watched you fight before.
Okay. I train Muay Thai, so I like to throw some elbows sometimes. My personal style, I fight. I would hope pretty technically. I try and keep things intelligent, but I try and come at things with ferocity. I'm trying to set up big hard shots. I'm trying to hurt and do damage, but I'm trying to get there in a technical fashion. I'm not trying to put myself in a good position through doing like dumb things to get there. I'm trying to get there in an intelligent way, get out in an intelligent way. I'm trying to be intelligent throughout the entire process, but I also like to be a little bit of a risk taker, because I don't know, it's just fun to kind of throw things to the wind. But I'm trying not to do that as often nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Obviously, like as you gain more experience, you'll have that knack for it too, right? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the word that I would describe it. Like you're definitely intelligent, patient fighter, but you're also a dog, man. Like when you see that, when you smell blood, dude, you just come at people, and like,
Thank you.
man, like that's the difference between sparring and fighting, man. Is that like when you come at me, I'm like, oh shit, like Eden's about to hit me hard. So yeah, I mean, I've obviously learned a lot from fighting you twice. Obviously, I'm 0-2 against you, but I don't look at it as a loss for me personally. I look at it as a win because I get to fight a good friend of mine, but also, I get to learn a lot from our fights. So,
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
talk to me about how long you've been training and how long you've been competing.
I've been training for about 2.5 years now. I've been competing for just over 1 year now. Okay. Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, man. You know, I spent a lot of the time just trying to get myself together so then I could go into the gym and be a workhorse. You know, because like, yeah, it was a story becoming kind of. You know, I just had to kind of get in the right mentality of how I'm supposed to behave, how I'm supposed to work, what I'm supposed to focus on when I'm here. You know, so and then whenever it came to fighting, you know, I did really crap in the PKB area of levels and such. So, you know, I kind of got to forge that mentality there, and it's just kind of propelled me to try and do my best here and present everything and just go. So,
Yeah, I mean, only 1 year competing and you have 7 fights already under your belt. I mean, that's pretty insane. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of any other amateurs that I know of who's got 7 fights in the first year competing. Now, granted, you have done a lot of like tournament style. Uh, so what with the Southeast Muay Thai King of the Ring, that was your second tournament style
yeah,
fight. But you talk to me about your the Muay Thai novice tournament that you did.
that one was a lot of fun. That was up in Indiana, I believe. Yeah, Indiana, somewhere around there. I fought these two studs, man. They were dogs. First fight, I had a little bit of a high advantage, you know, just played outside game. Second guy knocked me out, well, TKO'd me, body shot. I just liver him. So fun. But man, those taught me a lot. And then that was right before I fought you for the first time. And that just, you know, I took that like I needed to really focus in and learn how to be more technical and focused and driven. So yeah, those were that was a great experience. So yeah,
Talk to me about why you got into fighting, man.
why? It's the reason behind it is a literature or literatorial reason. If you don't know about the hero's path, it's a technique in writing where you kind of describe. I have this man going into a forest and coming out of the forest. It's just an evolutionary thing. I'm just trying to evolve and be a better person, grow stronger and more soft-hearted. So just trying to evolve.
That's interesting that you mentioned being soft-hearted. Like, you mean more empathetic?
Yeah, you know, like this universe of ours can be kind of cruel and uncaring sometimes, and I think that it's important to to have a soft heart, to be caring and kind. You know, that's a true declaration of strength in a way to kind of stand warm in cold wind.
That's interesting. How has fighting taught you to be more empathetic? I would feel like, for most people, fighting, especially people who aren't in our sport, right? People will look at fighting and they don't see us as like empathetic creatures. They probably see us as a complete opposite. So, talk to me about how fighting has taught you to be more empathetic.
Uh, it's it's like how do I say this? Learning in reverse. So I kind of had to put things away in order to do this, you know, to be decent at this, to be where I am at this. And in having to do that, I had to learn how and when to use my emotions. So it's like learning how to use a faucet. You know, like you can have this crashing wave behind you, but if you don't use the faucet correctly, you're gonna flood everything. So it kind of helped me learn to mitigate that faucet. You know, kind of control and funnel that. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, that's a really intriguing thought. Let's talk about your gym a little bit. You have two amazing coaches, Coach Jesse and Coach Alex. Talk to me about how special it is to have two really high level coaches and how they've influenced you to set a culture at your gym because your gym is a fairly new gym and you're the first champion at their gym also. Uh, you know, the fighting legacy of Temple Muay Thai is fairly new still, and you've definitely helped pave the way. So, talk to me about how Coach Alex and Coach Jesse has really helped and mentored you to be a role model within your gym.
They've just encouraged focus. That's a big thing for me, being able to focus and be intent. So it's without them encouraging such focus and dedication, I don't think I would be where I am. And I think that's a big thing about the style that they teach. It's so focused on covering your bases, and just their focus is what allows them to be where they are, and has allowed us as a gym to get where we are so far. And I think that we're a very hungry, young, ambitious gym, so we have a good future ahead of us.
Yeah, man. I mean, you've been fighting guys from bigger gyms, more established gyms that's been around longer, who's had fight programs a lot longer than you guys. But you're out here taking names, man. And I mean, in a really dominant fashion too. I mean, watching that tournament final, just the way talking about focus, how focused you are before you go into that ring, and how really, like, I could feel that energy from you. And I mean, I hate standing across from you when the ref is talking to us. I mean, I don't really like look at my opponents in the eyes either, but I can feel your gaze just staring into me, and I feel that energy. So that's interesting. So talk to me about what it's like sparring with Coach Alex, because I spar with Coach Alex too. He's so technical, so hard to spar against. So talk to me a little bit about that.
I love and hate sparring him so much, because he messes me up with such simple things. I'm just sitting there like trying to get past it, and it's just like his reaction, his control, it's all just perfectly there. And like he also knows my style really well, so he's just like, nope, 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 nope. And it's always good to have sparring partners like that, because without that kind of like constant annoyance, I don't feel like we can get anywhere.
Yeah, so. For sure. Look, so he trained in Thailand too. Is that something you want to go do also? You want to go live in Thailand and train a little bit?
I have pretty long-term goals. That is definitely a component that is going to be involved.
So, okay. Yeah. So look, after the first time we fought, we talked about, I think, our goals, like what our goals are in fighting. And you mentioned to me that you're doing this for the legacy. So at the end of your career, talk to me about what that legacy looked like. Who is Eden Maney at the end of his fighting career?
Sorry, that's a
you're good, man.
Question. Someone that did some pretty amazing things, but was willing and happy to step down from it when it was time.
Is that really important to you to know when that cutoff is? And what do you feel like will be the catalyst for you saying to yourself that this is time to step down?
When I'm 35.
Okay. So you do have so you do have really long-term fighting goals. Obviously, you want to go professional.
That's in there.
Okay. If you were to turn professional, at what age would you want to turn professional? Because I think you're younger than me, Eden. You're like 22?
21.
21. So yeah, you're a lot younger than me. I'm 23, so a couple years younger than me. And you started at a really young age. So we're talking about 12, 13 years of fighting ahead of you.
Yeah, I like to get on Odyssey. I like to go on long trips, so might as well.
I love it, man. I love that. Talk to me about some of the fighters you like to watch. What promotions do you like to watch? Who are your favorite fighters, and how have they inspired your style?
Okay. Top 3 right off the bat: Samart Payakaroon, Luke Lisi, and then Danny Bill. Those are my top 3 Muay Thai guys. Smart just because the technical prowess is mind-boggling. Luke Lisi because the swagger and things, and then Danny Bill because of the sneaky intelligence. I love how like everything with him was kind of under a thin layer, and I liked that about his style. I'm trying to really find my own style, and I find a lot of kinship with those guys because of their intelligence, and I feel like watching them kind of lets me take some of that. So those are my top 3 guys.
I love it, man. Dude, shout out to the chef Luke Lisi. He did the belt awarding for the SMT 1 kilo the ring tournament. So hopefully
Yeah,
Raul can get Luke back over here. I mean, South Carolina is a pretty cool place to be in. Hopefully I can get him down to Charleston. I can show him around. Love for him to have
for
a
sure.
seminar down here. Hopefully he'll come back and do a seminar. I know he's busy doing his own journey, his own odyssey in one FC right now. So good luck to him.
Yeah.
Um, do you know anything about your opponent for SKC? And if so, stylistically, where do you feel like you have an advantage over him?
No, I don't. I don't know anything about him, and I'm kind of happy about that because it's allowing me to toss out this preset thing, and it's allowing me to go out there and map. It's allowing me to go out there and figure something out. And I'm going to do my best to look into him. I mean, we're a little far out. I have a other fight in front of me. That's my focus currently. But yeah, I know he's going to be a tough fight. Every fight's a tough fight, regardless. So I'm just excited to get in there and do my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the Muay Thai matchup for Atlanta, the Georgia Muay Thai versus North Carolina Muay Thai. So I'm pretty excited to watch that for sure. So this is fight number 2 that you have coming up, and then for the SKC 5 card, this will be fight number 3. How many more fights are you looking to do this year?
Honestly, man, I want to be as active as possible. Like I would prefer to fight like once a month. Eventually I want to get up to the point where I'm fighting like twice a month, but that'd be like, some Thailand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm like, just constantly grinding it out. That's something I'd like to get to. Yeah, I want to be as active as possible. If we have a fight that we can get to, we're going. If it's a fight that makes sense for us, it's a good fight that allows both parties to grow, and it's like good competition. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna go. I'm willing and ready. So yeah.
That's the dog in you, bro. You don't care who you fight, man. You'll fight anybody, anytime, as long as it makes sense. It's drivable. Like you said, sign me up. Sign me up, coach. Let's get a little bit away from fighting, man. We talk a lot about fights. Talk to me about like favorite food, man. What do you like to eat? What do you like to eat during weight cuts? And then what do you like to eat after your victories?
Bro, I never remember why I cook before a weight cut because it's so bland and just non-existent that I just try and tune it out. After a weight cut, man, there's like a day or two where I try and just grab trash. Like there's a spot called Great American Cookies. It's absolutely horrible for you. I would not recommend it. However, it's my go-to.
Do you work with a nutritionist at all?
No, I'm starting to look into that. I need to start working with more people. I got my personal training certification a while ago, so I've been programming for myself for a little bit. Kind of happy with that. I think, however, I do like the idea of second eyes. It's like the setup.
Yeah, man. I mean, what I started working with, it's not like I'm a big guy, but when I drop weight, that's like something that's just like another source of anxiety, right? When you're dropping weight, like, oh, can I make this weight? Can I make this? Especially when I got down to 147 for the first time, just because I've never been there before. So I didn't know how to do it. So, I was nervous about it. But when I started working with a nutritionist, my buddy Charleston, dude, like, I didn't worry about a weight cut. That was for our fight for the SMT2 card. I don't think I sweat about a weight cut or my weight once during that camp. I highly, highly recommend working with a nutritionist. Like, I think that's something that if you're serious about fighting, you absolutely should be doing, because you can eat a lot more than you think you can during weight cuts, and that has saved me, made me feel good during weight cuts. My entire camp, I'm feeling good on energy, so that means you have better fight trainings, right?
Yeah.
That way you feel more prepared. So highly recommend it. You should definitely look into that.
I will. Thank you.
You talked about the personal training certification. So let's talk about a little bit outside of fighting too. Like, what do you do for work, and what got you inspired to get that certification, man?
I currently work at a cafe, but I also do some side things. I do a little bit with the personal training, and then I have some other projects I'm working on currently. Uh, yeah. And what was the second question? My
Yeah,
apologies.
what got you inspired to get that certification? Because those certifications aren't super cheap, and obviously it takes time to get into that. So
I just wanted to be able to say I know what I'm talking about whenever it comes to the physical preparedness that is training my human body to do the most I can. Because like I feel like if I'm talking to a professional and I can't speak on the same level, we're not going to have the same exact idea or a clearer idea of what we're trying to get across. So I just like to know what I'm talking about, you know.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh, Talk to me about let's look at you from an outside perspective. We're gonna take your teammates. You know, use one word to describe yourself from your teammates or your coach's perspective.
Uh, Wild.
I was about to say the same. I was gonna say dog. Like you're right, you're a dog. So I was gonna say the same thing. So look, you have great self awareness. Clearly, yeah, man. I mean, you're definitely a wild character. But why would you say that why would you think that they would say you're wild?
Because of my enthusiasm whenever I'm in the gym. Whenever I'm talking about this technique, I talk about it like we're some weird people in a samurai movie, you know, like where they do one slash and it's over. You know, I'm like, yeah, you got to cut them in half. So it's just like I try and bring an enthusiasm, and I feel like I'm definitely the type to get a little over enthusiastic sometimes. So yeah,
It's all right, man. You're lost in the sauce, dude. Like you love this stuff, man. I mean, I could tell, man, from the way we talk about it, from the way you fight, man. I know you love this stuff, dude. And that's really inspirational to me. Um, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about a little bit about the techniques you talk about. Give me your favorite Muay Thai drill that you do in the gym and a favorite lift in the gym.
favorite Muay Thai drill, probably Bull and Matador, simply because like where you're using probe strikes, jab, push kick, switch kick, just left kick, lead side, versus someone that's pressuring. And there's all kinds of ways you can run that really, but I like that because it allows me to understand how to control my opponent and then set up shots. So like I can just be using my jab and my push kick and just be moving around and be seeing shots and take note of that later. I don't have to throw it right then and there to take note of it. But okay, I can throw this. On top of that, it just builds recognition. Favorite lift, man, I love landmines, and I love the landmine clean and jerk. I don't know what's so fun about just ripping weight up with one arm and tossing it, but yeah, it's probably my favorite lift.
Dude, it's because you're a wild guy, man. You like the explosive like that. No, I do like landmines a lot too. It is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would say like incorporating landmines, incorporating more like uh like combat sports specific lifts into my strength and conditioning has really helped me enjoy the gym a lot more because I used to hate being in a gym, man, and I kind of still do, but like it's a lot more tolerant. I could tolerate it a lot more now that I have like a little more. When the lifts look cool, you're like, all right, like I'll do it. So,
Yeah, for sure. No one wants to be sitting there bench pressing.
yeah, man, yeah, exactly. Any shout outs? What's the message you want to send to the SKC 5 fans, and any last shout outs you want to give?
Uh, I'm going to give everything I can. You know, it's all or nothing. Come train at Temple Muay Thai. Go train at Black Label. Go train. Just go train. Have a good life. Stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just here to throw hands, really.
I love it, man. Just here to throw hands. I love it. Yeah. So look, I'm gonna be in. I think we talked about it. I'm gonna be in Asheville in like 2-3 weeks. So I'll hit you up then. I'll definitely come train with you guys because I've been wanting to come train
Love
with y'all
that.
for a little minute. So, um, but yeah. Any last shout outs you want to give out? Family, friends, coaches.
Uh, Coach Jesse, really, you know, he's built Temple. He's really built me. That man has put so much work and effort into building Temple into the gym it is and can be. Without him, it's nothing. He's the cornerstone, you know. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to him.
Yeah, absolutely. But talking to Coach Jesse, I've learned a lot about him and the reason why he started his business. It's very inspiring to listen to him. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning into this show. Come watch Eden Maney fight at the Foundry in Greenville, South Carolina, May 11th. We'll see you guys there. Thank you so much.